Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about nice things. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of nice things, Bob? What is this lesson going to be about? Are you going to talk about nice things that you give to people, like gifts? No, I'm not. What kind of nice things will I talk about? I'm going to talk about nice things you can do for another person in this English lesson. So again, this is a lesson about things you can do that are really nice for other people. Now, I've done lessons like this in the past. In this lesson, though, I'm going to focus on the actual phrases we use to talk about each of these nice things that you can do for someone else. So, once again, welcome to this English lesson about nice things that you can do for someone else. Do someone a favor. So this is the general term for doing something nice for someone. It's nice to do someone a favor. It's nice to do your sister a favor. It's nice to do your parents a favor. When you do someone a favor, it means you help them with something and you don't expect to get paid or for them to do anything in return. If my brother said he needed some help, he might say, hey, can you do me a favor? I need to move some heavy things on Saturday. And then I would do him a favor. I would go to his house and I would help him with the stuff he is working on. Sorry, you might notice the slides today are not videos. I had a very busy week, so I've gone back to the old style. Simply enjoy the pictures as we do this lesson, and I'll get back to more action-oriented lessons in the future. But yes, crazy busy week. Give someone a lift or give someone a ride. If I'm at work and my colleague has his car in the garage, he might ask if I can give him a lift or give him a ride. When you give someone a lift or give them a ride, they go in your car and you bring them home or you bring them to the place they need to go to. Sometimes at work, someone will ask if someone can give them a lift to the garage to pick up their car. I've done this a few times where I've given someone a ride or given someone a lift to the garage. So when you give someone a lift, it simply means to give them a ride somewhere because their car isn't working. Now, they don't even have to own a car. Some people without cars are always asking someone to give them a lift. And here is another general term, to lend something to someone. So often English learners get confused between borrow and lend. Lend is the action of the person giving something. If you wanted to borrow money from me, let's see if we can get this to focus. Probably not. I have to cover my face. If you wanted to borrow money from me, I could lend you money, okay? So when you lend something to someone, it means you give it to them, but you do expect them to give it back. If you lend someone money, you expect them to give the money back to you. If I lend someone my car, I expect them to give my car back to me, for sure. Reach out to someone. So this is a tricky one because it sounds like you're physically taking your hand and reaching out, but that's not what it means. To reach out to someone means to call them or text them. It means to start a conversation with them, especially if you haven't talked to them in a while. If I hadn't talked to my brother for a year, I might reach out to my brother to see how he's doing. If I think about people I went to school with years ago, if I wanted to reconnect, I could reach out to one of my former classmates and say hi and see how they are doing. Lend someone a hand. So this is, again, a general term. We talked about lending money or lending someone a car. You can also lend someone a hand, which can mean to physically help them, but it can also mean to give them something with no expectation of return. If my sister lost her job, I would lend her a hand by giving her some money while she looked for another job. If my brother, needed me to come and help do some work with him, I might lend him a hand by going and helping him. So it can mean to actually use your hand, but it can also mean any kind of help that you give to someone. Let someone in. This is a nice thing to do, but this is really hard for me to do. I am not good at doing this. When you're in a line, if you're standing in the line or in your car and you allow someone to go in front of you, we would say that you are letting them in. When you let someone in, it means that you don't make them go to the end of the line. You allow them to go in front of you or behind you. So usually in front of you. I don't often do this on the road. I don't like to let people in when I'm driving. I feel like they should just wait until it's their turn to go in. But yes, if you're at the grocery store and a person walks up to the line and they only have 1 or 2 items, you might let them in to the line because you feel like you have a lot of things and you don't want to make them wait. Give someone a compliment. Your hair looks great today. I really like the work you did on that project. Those are all things that we would call compliments. When you compliment someone, you say something nice about them in an appropriate way. So you have to be a little bit careful with this one. When you comment on someone's looks, in my part of the English-speaking world, you can say, "Oh, did you get a haircut? It looks nice." You could say, "Oh, that shirt looks really nice on you." That would be appropriate in some situations, but maybe not others. It's a little tricky. Maybe I should use other compliments. You could say, I think complimenting someone's work is always safe. Complimenting someone's appearance requires that you have some sort of relationship with them, that you know them, okay? So yes, it's safe to compliment someone's work. Say good job. That's a good thing to say. But compliments make people happy. House sit for someone. So I wasn't sure if you guys were going to know this phrase. When you house sit for someone, it means they go on vacation or they are gone for a while and you go and live there or at least spend time there while they're gone to make sure that everything is okay. When people go on vacation for a long period of time, they might be worried that water might leak or something might break at their house. So sometimes they will ask a relative to house sit for them. When you house sit for someone, you usually live in their house for a week or 2 while they're gone. And you might do a few other things while you're doing that as well, which I'll talk about later. But when you house sit for someone, it's like you're taking care of their house for them. So I have never done this, but I know people who have done this, where a relative goes on vacation and they'll go, like if you're married and if the wife's parents go on vacation, the wife might go house sit for them while they're gone. She might just live there for a week to take care of things. Pick up the tab for someone. This is something that I think I'm going to end up doing more and more as my kids get older. When you go to a restaurant with a group of people, you can each pay individually, or someone might pick up the tab. So when I go to a restaurant with Jen and my kids, often I pick up the tab because I'm the dad and I think my kids expect me to do that. When we go out to eat with Jen's parents, often her parents will pick up the tab. So they'll pay the bill for everyone and I'll get a meal for free. So when you pick up the tab, it means that you definitely you're eating somewhere and someone has said that they will pay for the meal for everyone. They will pick up the tab. Give directions to someone. So this one, I found this picture kind of interesting because we don't often use paper maps anymore. And we don't always need to ask for directions because of GPS. Sometimes GPS takes us exactly where we need to go. But it's very nice to help someone if they come and ask you to give them directions. When you give directions to someone, you say, go down this street for 4 blocks and then turn left and walk for 2 more blocks, and then you'll find the library, if that's what they're looking for. So it's very nice to give someone directions. If someone is lost, it's very nice to take the time to give them directions so they know how to get to the place where they're going. Help someone out. So again, there are many different ways to help someone out. I did want to add this. It is the same as to lend someone a hand. Okay, so if you lend someone a hand or help someone out, it means the same thing. I don't know why we add the word out, but we do say it this way. Can you help me out? My car has a flat tire. Can you help me out? I don't have any money and I need to pay a really large bill. So anytime you help someone in some way, we will often use the verb help out to help someone out. Do you know what would help me out? If you guys watched all of my videos from the beginning to the end, that would help me out, because then YouTube likes the video and shows it to more people. By the way, you don't have to do that. It was just an example of help out, to help someone out. So I mentioned earlier the word house sit, and it comes from the word babysit. When you babysit for someone, you take care of their children so they can go out for the evening, or so that they can go away for a day or two. When our kids were little, my mom would babysit for us. It was a very nice thing to do. When my mom would babysit for us, Jen and I could go out on a date. We could go see a movie. We could go have a meal in a restaurant. When you babysit for someone, you watch their kids. You look after their kids. And just so you know, we don't use the word babysit just for babies. Even when kids are older, when they're not babies anymore, we still use the word babysit. So if someone had kids who were 6 and 9, they might say, can you babysit for me? We'd like to go out on Friday night. If you could babysit for us, that would be great. To look after someone's dog. So this is another one that goes along with to house sit for someone. When people go away, they might ask you to look after their dog. There's a few variations on this. They might ask you to watch their dog. They might ask you to, what's the other one? Look after someone's, take care of. They might ask you to take care of their dog. If my sister went on vacation, she might say, hey, can you watch my dog for me? Can you look after my dog? Can you take care of my dog? Look after and take care of are totally similar. They're exactly the same. I think watch my dog is a little different. So just maybe ignore me on that one. But if you look after someone's dog or you take care of someone's dog, it means they're gone and you're going to take their dog for a walk, feed their dog, and do all those pet and dog-like things. And of course, if someone's gone, you might water someone's plants for them. If someone has gone on a trip, they don't want their plants to die. They might say, hey, I'm going to Europe for 2 weeks. Can you water my plants for me? That means you would stop at their house, you would get a little watering can, and you would say you would water their plants for them. And of course, if someone is on vacation, they might ask you to get mail for them. When you get the mail for someone, notice I used the and I didn't use the. You can get the mail for someone. You can get mail for someone. Both work. But often when people go on vacation, they might ask someone to get the mail for them because they don't want their mailbox to fill up. By the way, this is the kind of mailbox I have because I live in the country. You, if you live in the city, might just have a small box. But when you get the mail for someone, it means that they're gone and you go and you pick up their mail. You get the mail for them so that their mailbox doesn't fill up. It's not nice when your mailbox is full because then people might realize that you're on vacation. To check in on someone. When you check in on someone, it means you go to their place to see if they're okay. When you reach out to someone, it means you call them or send them a text message. When you check in on someone, it means you actually go there. If you have older parents, you might check in on your parents every once in a while. You might want to make sure that everything is okay. You might go to their house. You might check in on them to make sure that they're, taking care of themselves. having a shower once in a while, taking their pills. There are a number of reasons why it's a good idea to check in on your parents. It's just a good idea. Bring someone a meal. So in Canada, this often happens when people are sick or after they've been in the hospital. Neighbors and friends might bring a meal. When you bring someone a meal, you cook for them, and then you bring the meal to their house. Again, this is a very common thing for people to do if someone isn't able to do this themselves. After I had heart surgery, friends and family would bring us meals. They did that for almost 2 weeks. People would bring a meal to the door. They would bring it at 5 o'clock. And then Jen wouldn't have to make a meal because she was already busy taking care of me and all of the children. So bring someone a meal is it's just a very, very nice thing to do. Say hello to someone. So this is pretty straightforward, okay? It's kind of weird, but if you say hello to someone, if you greet someone, it's a very kind thing to do. No one likes it when people are grouchy all the time or not in a good mood. When you say hi to someone, when you say hello to someone, it can make their day. It can cheer them up. Because think about it. If you go to work and when you get to work, you don't say hi to everyone, people might think you're in a bad mood, or they might just wonder, what's wrong with Bob? Why didn't he say hi today? So saying hello, it's a simple thing, but it's a very nice thing. And I see Vitor in the chat saying, hello, Bob. See, it made me smile. That's nice. Hello, Vitor. Offer to help someone. So we've talked about a few variations on this. You can lend someone a hand. You can help someone out. But you can also offer to help someone. So this happens before the action of helping. This means you say, hey, can I give you a hand with that? Hey, can I help you out with that? Do you need some help? When you offer to help someone, it's a very nice thing to do. If someone said to me, oh, I'm moving on Saturday, I could say, oh, do you need some help? When I offer to help them, that would make them feel good because it's a very, very nice thing to do. Something as simple as this, listen to someone. Sometimes when I'm in a conversation, I feel like I talk, and then when I stop talking, the other person starts talking, but they didn't actually listen to what I said. They just want to talk about what they want to talk about. So just actually listening to someone. When I visit my mom, I try really hard to listen to her. I only see my mom once a week, maybe every 2 weeks. So it's nice to really listen to what she's saying. So something as simple as saying hello or actually listening to someone can be a very, very kind thing to do. Take someone out for lunch. This is similar to picking up the tab. But this is more like, hey, can I take you to lunch today? Let's talk about a new business deal. Let me buy you lunch. Let me take you to lunch. When someone does this, it's a real treat. I'm not sure if I use that word yet. It's a real treat. In English, when you say something's a treat, it's something someone gives you or does for you that's free. So it's always nice to go out to lunch and have someone else pay for it. At least in my world, I really like that. Help someone move. So I've mentioned this a few times as an example. Now, people have different opinions on this. When you're young, it's very easy to help someone move. When you're older, you don't want to hurt yourself by helping someone move. You don't want to lift heavy things. My mom actually moved a number of months ago, and we helped my mom move. But my brothers and sisters and I are all older. I'm a middle child and I'm 51. We were worried. We didn't want to throw out our back or pull a muscle by lifting heavy furniture. So we were very, very careful about how we did that. But to help someone move is just a very, very, very nice thing to do for them. Definitely. Help someone clean up. So this is something that you want to do if you're visiting someone. So if I go somewhere and I have a meal with them, I always offer to help clean up afterwards. I offer to help do the dishes. If I visit my sister and we have a meal, I offer to help clean up. I help her clean up after the meal. If I go to visit a friend, they might say, no, just sit. We'll clean up. But I will still say that I want to help them clean up. When you visit someone, it's always nice to offer to help clean up. That means you say, hey, can I help you clean up? And then it's actually nice to actually do the cleanup with them. So help someone clean up, always a nice thing to do. Spend time with someone. So this is similar to listen to someone. When you spend time with someone, you've decided that you are going to be in the same place as them and talk with them for a while. It's using the verb spend, which we usually use for money. You go to a store and you spend money. So we're talking about time in the same way we talk about money. You have a certain amount of time every day, and you have to decide how you're going to use that time. How are you going to spend that time? So it's nice to spend time with someone. It's nice to just go for a walk and sit on a bench in a park and chat and talk and enjoy each other's company. So a very nice thing to do is to simply spend time with someone. And then smile. This is a very, very simple one as well. They've done studies that when someone smiles, people will often smile back. When you see someone smile, you will often smile back. I would smile right now, but it will seem fake. Here's my smile. See, I can't do it. I could only smile when I'm actually feeling the need to smile. So I guess I'm smiling now because I want to smile. But when you smile, it makes other people happy. It's kind of a strange and interesting human thing. When you smile, it makes other people happy and it makes other people smile. Lots of fun.